24-year-old Canelo Alvarez improved to 45-1-1 with what probably will be the knockout of the year. I warn you, it is graphic, the pictures we have. We're going to leave a link in the description to see the highlights as well. But let's take a look because I said it on Twitter.
No, you're not going to repeat it.
I said it to Francis in a text message.
Boom.
I'm saying it to Pablo right now. James Kirkland's jaw was offset inches when he took this punch. Now, before we get into the round-by-round breakdown, and it wasn't long of a round-by-round breakdown, as this happened early on in the third round, Canelo Alvarez has now, I guess, his own KO graphic. Let's take a look at the next one. Canelo'd.
Nice, nice.
Look at the face. I mean, look, now, this was the fight that every boxing fan wanted to see last weekend.
Every neutral boxing fan.
Every neutral boxing fan.
They didn't understand Mayweather.
We've discussed time and time again that your expectations, and Pablo, you actually had the best expectation going into the fight. And
best prediction.
And prediction. And we talked with Bretton Harden, one of our other TYT Sports boxing analysts, and when it comes down to it, we should have all known that it was not going to be a worthy fight of the century, but all the hype was there, the celebrities were there, the star power was there, the scene, the atmosphere.
Problem was Mayweather was there, and Mayweather did what he always does. He fights going backwards. He counter punches you. Even if you hit Mayweather hard, he's going backwards. I said it before the fight. It was going to be the easiest fight Mayweather had in a long time, and it was. Who should have never been called the fight of the century. It was never going to be close. Now this fight, on the other hand, we had Canelo.
Fantastic.
When Canelo fought Mayweather, same thing happened. Canelo couldn't touch Mayweather. If they fought 10 more times, he wouldn't touch him.
No.
Canelo can fight great, Mexican style, going forward against other people that are going to stand and trade blows with him. Mistake for Kirkland. You don't stand and take blows with Canelo.
So, well, here's the thing about James Kirkland. Now, James Kirkland has taken blows from other fighters and has been knocked down in rounds 1 and 2 before coming back and TKOing other fighters in rounds 6 and 7. This has happened before. Kirkland obviously knows how to take a punch. He doesn't have a glass jaw,
but he hadn't fought in a long
But you know when
time.
he leaves an open jaw. Now, round by round, the first round came out, these guys came out swinging toe-to-toe, and Alvarez was able to knock down Kirkland twice before knocking him out cold. Once with a straight right hand, and second knockdown with a great right uppercut. Now, Alvarez, what's interesting, at least to me, about Canelo Alvarez is, A, he gives an exciting fight, which is good for boxing promotions, and all that needs to happen now is Miguel Cotto has to beat Daniel Gill, which is not an easy fight, so Canelo can get his title shot against Miguel Cotto. But before we even get to that point, I just want to go through some punch stats. Canelo Alvarez, 87, landed on 150 thrown, 58%. 42 for Kirkland landed, and 197 thrown. As we said with the Mayweather fight, although two different fights entirely, you win boxing by accuracy. You don't win by quantity if you can't land the amount of punches that you need to wear down your opponent. So, with Canelo Alvarez, I am a huge fan of him for the reason that he's also seems like a stand-up guy. I mean, after Kirkland was knocked down on his ass, flat on the ground, he didn't celebrate too long before he walked over and was looking at it like, "Are you okay? Are you okay, buddy?" Like, because he knows that when Kirkland forced Alvarez to knock him out cold. And there was nothing, like, no ifs, ands, or buts about that. When Alvarez went low, Kirkland dropped his gloves.
And even when he knocks him out, if you see the replay, he hits him flush and he ducks. And Kirkland misses over his head. Shows you the guy can box and he can hit. The problem is Kirkland wasn't moving his face. If he takes on Miguel Cotto is going to move more than Kirkland. Mayweather moves a lot more than both of them. Canelo is still a bit too stiff for him.
Canelo also does this. Like, well, where Floyd Mayweather has mastered the ability to duck and dodge punches and hit and not get hit. He's made that his mantra for 48 fights, 48-0. Alvarez, we know, his defensive efficiencies are not to par. His footwork's gotten better, but the thing with Canelo that frustrates me
because he has that Mexican pride. He wants to go forward. Oscar De La Hoya,
goes back.
He promotes Canelo. Mexican fans never liked Oscar De La Hoya that much because Oscar De La Hoya is more Mayweather than Chavez. De La Hoya would box and move, go backwards, win rounds in the final 20 seconds. That's not what Canelo is, but sadly, that's what Canelo needs to become if he wants to take another step. He's going to need to move better side to side. Defensively, he's going to get better, and he needs to still get quicker.
So his next big challenge will hopefully be Cotto. Again, we talked really quickly about it, but I don't want to just consider Cotto beating Daniel Gill as if that's an easy fight. That's going to be a great fight, too, and Cotto is still one of the biggest fighters on any boxing ticket, although older. Canelo's got youth, 24. He's going to be around, unless he sees a string of getting knocked out, which we've seen him get gassed. He has to be able to go 12 rounds. For a 24-year-old, even though 47 fights deep into his career, you cannot lose your stamina after round 2, round 3, because if someone like Kirkland, who was able to duck and dodge 1 or 2 of those big punches, Kirkland could have came back in round 6, 7, or 8 and knocked Alvarez right on his ass.
Kirkland's corner said this fight will end by knockout. They were right.
Right.
They never said who it was going to be.
They were right.
I think they knew what was going to happen. Kirkland was going to stand there, and it was too easy of a fight. Again, Canelo, that was fight perfect for him.
Well, in front of 30,000 proud at Minute Maid Park in Houston, the first time the baseball stadium ever hosted a boxing fight, an affordable ticket. $10 to $25 from some upper-level seats. You didn't have to pay less. It was less to go to the fight than it was to pay for it on HBO. But it does start to beg the question that we're going to talk about basically ever since Mayweather-Pacquiao happened. And Francis was fortunate enough to interview a good friend of ours, Gabriel Salvador, who was one of the instrumental parts of putting together the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight. Let's take a quick look at that clip.
But I just want to know what it means for everyone involved in boxing, just the magnitude of this event. Is this going to rejuvenate the sport, do you think?
Absolutely. This is definitely boxing's last stand.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and let's be frank about it. You know, boxing has lost a little bit of its luster throughout the years, and it's unfortunate. What a great sport.
Yeah.
What a great sport. You know, and tonight it's going to have a big exclamation point, and we're going to be able to proudly say boxing is back.
I mean, I don't know. If boxing's back, if you've got a guy that wants to come in and put his face on a line to be punched all over the place, because that's what I seen in this fight. He's like, Alvarez is a good fighter, but it's the same attraction that we had when we used to watch Mike Tyson as someone who's willing to go in and fight disregarding their own health and what could happen to them. He wants to go in and put his body on the line willingly, whereas Floyd Mayweather mastered something about the fight that makes you not want to get hit. And I find it captivating watching Mayweather as well. People don't like it as a neutral fan. Some people just want to go out and watch people get hit. That's why the UFC is so popular. But just watching Mayweather fight, I love to watch his defensive capabilities and how he avoids punches. That's why I don't mind watching Chelsea and soccer content.
Right.
But when it comes to Alvarez, I think it's great. I think it's a great for the boxing world to watch what they're so used to watching and what it used to be, as I said, when you watch the Tyson industry. But as you said before, he's going to win fights like this if you've got someone who's sticking their face right in the middle of a punch, someone who's not going to cover themselves. I'm interested to see how he's going to move forward next if he does fight Cotto, because it's interesting to see how he will fight someone who's going to be able to throw the same amount of punches and have a great punching accuracy, but also avoid his punches.
And force you to fight more defensively.
And force him to fight more, because when I watched Alvarez against Mayweather, I thought Mayweather completely outclassed him in every aspect of the fight and threw some good punches to catch him. He's not going to say punching power. Yeah, he
fought him when Alvarez was still younger. He didn't wait 2 more years.
21 or
he fought
22
him there.
years old.
And Canelo thought he won that fight too because he went forward. Hey, Canelo, you can't win the fight if you can't touch the guy. Pacquiao, you can't win the fight if you can't touch the guy. And I'm like, Francis, miss me, that's still good.
Yeah.
I enjoy watching the moves and the defending.
Yeah, it's neutral fans that will comment and say that Mayweather dances around. And yeah, if you don't watch boxing and you come in and you're expecting to see movement, you're expecting to see those haymakers getting thrown and landed, then yeah, you're going to be disappointed. But if you watch, especially that level, that weight of boxing, and you watch Mayweather throughout his career, then you're like appreciating that. But don't get me wrong, I'd love to see a brawl like this. This was a great brawl. This was a great amount of punches. And as you said,
it wasn't Hagler Hearns though.
No,
it's calm it down. It wasn't Hagler Hearns.
And you know, I'm really happy you mentioned that because that's what it's being compared to, and it wasn't. It wasn't even close to that, I want to say. But it was a spark.
But is boxing back? Let's compare it to the UFC. Mayweather-Pacquiao. Did you watch the undercard at all?
Nope.
This fight, did you watch the undercard at all?
Well, I wanted to watch Soto fight because he's 40 years old and he's been around for years on end.
Boxing is maybe the main fight, maybe. UFC undercards are great. The preliminaries are great.
Better
the
promotions,
fights
better
are great.
Well, I said at the start, I've been excited for Aldo McGregor more than I've been excited for Mayweather-Pacquiao from the very start, because I appreciate the sport now to the point that I know I'm going to be guaranteed entertainment as much as I'm going to be guaranteed a fight that lives up to all the hype before it. McGregor getting in Aldo's face and all that stuff, as much as it may be magnified for the media, you're still going to get a passionate fight that's going to have aggression and everything that you're expecting. Whereas all the hype that was around Mayweather-Pacquiao, you summed it up. The fight of the century was just the name that was given to it because of the statistics that both of these guys have and how much they may be in the same
keep in mind the fight of the century gets labeled the fight of the century because they are 1 and 2 pound for pound ranked as the best fighters in the world. But that's why it gets fight of the century. If it was 1 versus 7, it doesn't become.
Give
fight
me
of the century.
1 minute of Ronda Rousey instead of Mayweather-Pacquiao 2.
I don't think you go more than 19 seconds with Ronda Rousey.
Hey, I meant watching. I'm actually going to see the new Entourage movie because Ronda Rousey's in it.
Of course, we're excited for that that one too. Well, there you have it. Canelo now 4 out of 5 in his last fights. Before he did lose to Floyd Mayweather Jr., he did take down Austin Trout, Alfred Angulo, Iris Lindy Lara, which was a very terrifying fighter for a lot of these guys to get in the ring with. Alvarez winning that showed me a lot about Canelo Alvarez, and now knocking James Kirkland on his ass. Hopefully Cotto next. There's a lot of great boxing fights coming out. So for fans who were turned off by Mayweather Pacquiao, Timothy Bradley, Desert Storm's fighting soon. Gennady Golovkin, Triple G fights on Saturday. The Cotto is fighting Daniel Gill. There's great fights this summer. Make sure to check them out. But nothing is going to be better, and you can click on it, than Maxwell versus Alcina, fighting at 157.5.
I'm 157.5.
No, I'm at like 195.
I'm 188.
There's no way you're 180.
I'm 188.
We have to do another show.
You want to do a weigh-in?
That much?
You want to be a weigh-in?
Right.
You want to do a
The
weigh-in?
stare
I'll
down will
bet
be
you my hair that he doesn't weigh
the
180.
stare down will be Thursday evening. The fight will be Saturday. We'll call it the Junior Light Heavyweight title bout.
Ding, ding, ding.